Oh, so close. So close. Would have been good. Oh, well. CommandGenius straight shot through the center of this Plinko piston board. They're going to be going into first place on the right-hand side. Very unexpected performance from the Virgin runner here as they go down through. They got a win in the warm-up rounds, and they've got a taste for blood, ladies and gentlemen, and they are going for the victory. Full stop. CommandGenius on the left-hand side. I can't even say your name. On the left-hand side, going around in first place. Looks like it's going to be Shizumi on the right-hand side in second. It's going to be Ayame in third on the left-hand side. Cable Killer on the left-hand side in fourth place. Orange Pistons on the right-hand side in fifth place. And it looks like Triptez falling victim to the Virgin Curse already. Having a lot of trouble with those pistons in that piston Plinko board. Shizumi trying to get through on the cheese burger on the left-hand side with the Glorious Pistons not too far behind. CommandGenius already through on the left-hand side, trying to get through in first place. Ayame trying to hold second, but Shizumi is closing the gap there. And those two players are going to be neck and neck on opposite sides of the track. Cable Killer in fourth place on the left-hand side. Orange Pistons on the right-hand side in fifth place as they try to get through on the cheese burger. And Triptez is going to be making their way through on the left-hand side, trying to get through on that cheese and butter. It looks like they're doing okay for now, but they've got a lot of ground to make up, but there's still that wind bit at the end that could change everything. Oh, sorry about that, Dragon Musical. CommandGenius through on the left-hand side of the second half of the course, trying to hold first place, and they're having a record pace at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, straight through down on the quadruple slide as they go down to the rest of the track, and if they can finish out this race, they could have a record on their hands. Chemical on the left-hand side in second place. Looks like Ayame and Shizumi still tied on opposite sides for third place. Course position fifth place, and it's going to be Triptez finally getting that elevator in sixth place, but all eyes are on CommandGenius taking on the Virgin Curse as they go down through the booster into the helix and into the second cheese obliterator. Can they hold on to victory here as they go through the cheese obliterator number 2, or will it all come shambling apart on this final stretch? Here goes CommandGenius straight through on the right-hand side, almost a perfect run. They get a little bit ahead of a piston, but looks like they're going to be okay. They hit the booster down. Is the wind bit in position? Yes, it is. No, it's not. And CommandGenius is in, and CommandGenius is going for it. It looks like they're going to land it right into first place, and CommandGenius breaks the Virgin Curse, and I don't think it was quite a record time, but it was an absolutely stellar time, and they have well earned their victory. Orange just takes it down to 12. CommandGenius, Chesapeake Jaguars is going to tip it down to 9, and we're going to get very close here, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be Ayame down to 8, Cable Killer down to 7, Triptez down to 6, Glorious Wizards down to 5, CommandGenius down to 4, and it's all going to come out to who comes out of this level 1 Speed Washer in the right position. As of right now, it looks like it's going to be the Glorious Mustache in the best position, but let's see what happens as we go through on this final lap. Ayame and Triptez coming up in the elevator. They're going to trip it down to 7, and Cable Killer going to bring it up down to 6. Up down to 6. Going to bring it down to 6. Glorious Mustache going to bring it down to 5. CommandGenius down to 4. Shizumi and Dragon go down to 2. And then it's going to be Ayame and Triptez down to 0. So it looks like it's all going to come down to this, ladies and gentlemen. Cable Killer going to trip it, and it's all going to be whoever comes out next. So Glorious Mustache is out next, but they have got to slow down if they want to be in the best position. CommandGenius trying to get down now, so it's either going to be the Glorious Mustache or CommandGenius as it currently stands. Let's see what happens as they all come through on this course. Triptez coming down. They're going to be going up to the elevator and trip it down to 1. It looks like Ayame and Cable Killer are going to be bringing it down to 0 and tripping it, but the Glorious Mustache is a little bit too fast here. CommandGenius is in position to get another victory here, ladies and gentlemen. Shizumi overtakes CommandGenius, though. It looks like Shizumi's onto something as they come down to the track, looking to make a big for it as they come into this final slide. The Command has been tripped. Here comes Shizumi overtaking right at the last second into the right position, but they hit the piston. CommandGenius trying to blast her on the right-hand side, of both players neck and neck as they come down into the final slide. Can CommandGenius hold on to first place to get 2 in a row? Shizumi going to have a better line on the right-hand side. It looks like CommandGenius straight through, and CommandGenius has dominated again, ladies and gentlemen. First place finish for the second time in a row. Shizumi in second place, Glorious Mustache in third place, Dragon is going fourth, Ayame in fifth, all coming down into this final now. Shizumi overtaking CommandGenius on those moguls, and it looks like Shizumi is making their move, trying to get ahead of this final descent, and Shizumi is going to have a very good lead here on the other players. Here comes Shizumi out of the funnel now, looking to hold first place as they go down into the sextuple slide. It looks like CommandGenius and the Glorious Mustache now neck and neck, and it looks like CommandGenius losing in all of that funnel. They're now back in dead last in fifth place, but still anything can happen on this slide. Shizumi holding first place for now, but the Glorious Mustache trying to put pressure on in second place. Dragon Mystical coming down in third place, CommandGenius now back in fourth place, Ayame in fifth. Shizumi trying to hold first, but they keep tripping up on these pistons. Dragon Mystical with a very good line on the right-hand side, trying to overtake it. It looks like they got caught up, but Shizumi regained their momentum, retaking first place. They go down in the final descent. Glorious Mustache in second place now. Dragon Mystical in third. It's going to be CommandGenius in fourth, and Ayame in fifth place. And here they come down into the Raging Pin. Shizumi first went in with the Glorious Mustache not too far behind. Both players missed it on the first pass. They're going to try to get on the second one, and there they go. It looks like both players got blasted back onto the track, so Glorious Mustache and Shizumi have to go through again. Dragon Mystical and CommandGenius now in position, and CommandGenius still has a chance to go for the turkey. They're going to get a good bounce up through on the right-hand side, and CommandGenius is going for it, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that beautiful backspin on the marble straight through the center, and CommandGenius is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, right through to the point of no return, right down the side, and CommandGenius gets a turkey 3 in a row on their first 3 races on this stream. Absolutely amazing. So far, Bubba and the Wolf on the left-hand side, trying to get through in second place. Chesapeake right down in the center. They're going to take second place. Bubba and the Wolf back in third place, trying to overtake Chesapeake, but Chesapeake's going to box them as they go through into the divide. Both players stopped on the piston, and Bubba and the Wolf finally get in second place. But the Glorious Pushers through on the left-hand side in the water wheel. We got to keep our eyes on this. They are going for the record, ladies and gentlemen. Loaded up into the circus cannon, blacking across the way into the funnel, and the Glorious Pushers is going to stand right into that funnel. I think Wicked Intense got to skip. No, they didn't. So Glorious Pushers through on the left-hand side in first place at the moment. Looks like Chesapeake and Bubba and the Wolf taking the slow lane in the center with the Yame not too far behind. All three players having a little bit of trouble at the top of the elevator. Triptez going for the skip, but they overshoot it on the left-hand side. They said they were going to go for the win, and they went for it, but they couldn't quite stick the landing. Bubba and the Wolf on the left-hand side coming out in fourth place, and Triptez, poor Triptez, on the left-hand side through this dishwasher. They're going to probably be dead last if they even finish at all. Fourth place for Bubba and the Wolf, trying to find their way across this cheese obliterator. Having a little bit of trouble, but they're finally getting through in the center line now. Looks like the line is pretty good as they go right down into the past side of the last side of Pistons. Triptez straight through on the right-hand side, trying to overtake last second. They get blasted up by the cheese obliterator, kicking a man while they're down. How unfortunate. Triptez was eliminated. Looks like Dragon Mystical getting a good, or Bubba and the Wolf getting a good bounce to the center. Triptez trying to find the center along with the Yame, and it's going to be a Yame and Triptez tied for first. Bubba and the Wolf in third, Dragon Mystical fourth, Glorious Pushers in fifth, Chesapeake in sixth place, all coming down, and all these players are very close to each other, trying to get through. It looks like Chesapeake has fallen out of the mystery tunnel. It's going to be Triptez and Ayame through on the right-hand side, but they have to be careful of these rotating hammers. Ayame trying to get through on the right-hand side, and Triptez, oh no, Triptez has been blasted out. I'm so sorry, Triptez. All the players coming down the Jumpman platform. It looks like Chesapeake and Ayame with that early lead. Chesapeake with a lot of speed, but not a good line. Ayame trying to straight jump to the center, but it's not working out so far. Triptez still looking for that victory here tonight. And and here come all the players coming down into the gutter. Chesapeake is going to be the first one to hit that booster in first place. Ayame in second, Triptez in third, Glorious Pushers in fourth, Dragon Mystical in fifth, and CommandGenius in sixth place, working their way down this long gutter into the first cheese grater. And it looks like Chesapeake is going to have a pretty good lead to start off this race. Triptez still looking for that race. Will they be able to, for that finish, will they be able to get that first place finish here tonight? Let's find out. Chesapeake with a lot of trouble on the right-hand side. Ayame trying to go straight for the center, but Chesapeake has a pretty good wobbly line trying to find their way through these pistons. And here comes Triptez making their move as they go through the pistons perfectly and right down to the side. And Triptez is off to a good start, ladies and gentlemen. Triptez coming down in first place as they go down to the second gutter into the second cheese grater. Chesapeake in second, Ayame in third, Glorious Pushers in fourth, Dragon Mystical fifth, and CommandGenius in sixth place. Here comes Triptez through on the right-hand side, trying to find their way across the cheese grater and hold on to first place for now. Looks like they lost a lot of speed, but they could have a good exit as they go down into this next set of pistons. Trying to find that wobbly line, and looks like Triptez is going to hold on to it for now. Chesapeake in second place, Ayame in third. No, Triptez finally stopped up. It looks like they're trying to get through. Finally getting around to this piston. Chesapeake's closing the gap in second place, but still Triptez holding on to first for the moment. Ayame in third place, Dragon Mystical fourth, Glorious Pushers in fifth. It looks like Triptez getting overtaken by both players as they come down into the cheese grater. And here comes Chesapeake into first place on the right-hand side with Ayame not too far behind. Trying to get around those pistons, but not having any luck. Ayame trying to through Triptez, trying to find a better line as they go third in the pistons, but Chesapeake was straight up to the center. And Chesapeake into first place, Triptez back in second, Ayame in third. No, Ayame getting a little bit of trouble. Dragon Mystical down third, Ayame in fourth, CommandGenius in fifth, and the Glorious Pushers in sixth place. Chesapeake trying to get through on that cheese grater, number 4, I believe. One more cheese grater to go. Triptez trying to close the gap as they go through on these pistons, but they're stopped up on the right-hand side. Chesapeake's going to get through into first place, and Triptez just can't quite catch a break, ladies and gentlemen. Chesapeake coming down in the final cheese grater. Wild bounce to the right-hand side, over and out, and Triptez now in prime position if they can just stick the landing on this cheese grater. Ayame bounces to the left-hand side as well. Triptez all alone in first place. They just have to get past these pistons and they can do it. Dragon Mystical through on the right-hand side, trying to find their way through, and Triptez is having a world of trouble on these pistons, and here comes Dragon Mystical from the right-hand side. Triptez actually through. CommandGenius from behind on the left, and Triptez has finally done it. A first-place finish for Triptez, and the crowd goes crazy. Gonna be Dragon Mystical coming across in second place. CommandGenius looking to finish in third if they can get past that piston. And they do. And the Glorious Mustache finally bringing up their ear, being the gentlemen they are, letting all the other players go ahead as they find their way through these last set of pistons. And they're going to be able to finish out this race in fourth place with about a minute left on the clock. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Triptez has done it. The crowd is absolutely ecstatic. And CommandGenius way on their own as they're not even through that level 1 speed watcher yet, with the other players coming up from behind. Those 4 players are going to trip it down to 8. Looks like Triptez is going to trip it down to 7. CommandGenius still not through. Looks like they're deliberately stalling, trying to let the players lap them to give them a better position to get through into this first place victory. And CommandGenius might actually be showing some of the genius in their command here, and they could be going for a victory with a very strategic play. Ayame coming around in first place. Chesapeake in second. Becca on in third. Fusk in fourth. Those players are going to bring it down to 3. CommandGenius down to 2. Triptez down to 1. Next player is going to trip it to 0. So if this group bunches up a little bit here, we're going to see what happens on this course. Ayame through on the left-hand side in the elevator, trying to get into that level 1 speed washer. Yet again, looks like CommandGenius now just behind Fusk, trying to make up some ground here. It looks like they are going for it. CommandGenius, I swear, is onto something. I think they've planned this perfectly. All the other players are going up into level 1 speed washer. Triptez trying to stall out a little bit more, and this is going to be a very interesting finish, ladies and gentlemen. Ayame going to be completely out of contention here, as they're going to be the one to trip it down to 0. The next player is going to trip it completely. That's going to be Becca on. Fusk and Chesapeake are going to be too close, and CommandGenius is in prime position, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, this is going to be an absolutely astonishing play. Ayame going to trip it down to 0. It looks like Becca on's going to trigger it. CommandGenius getting ahead of Fusk, trying to get in line in front of the position right before the track ends over, and if they can time it just perfectly, they're going to be in first place. I swear CommandGenius had this all planned out. Are they going to be a little too quick on the draw here, though? Will they get stopped on the pistons? Yes, they do. They're trying to wait it out. Chesapeake coming up from behind the track switches. CommandGenius might be going, or Fusk and Chesapeake just barely ahead, but it's all going to come down to the pistons. Fusk in first, Chesapeake in second, CommandGenius in third. Fusk bounces to the, and CommandGenius has planned it perfectly. I don't believe it, ladies and gentlemen. First place is your CommandGenius, predicting the victory 2 laps ahead of time with that amazingly strategic play. They truly are a genius of their command.